Markets come into the Friday session with geopolitical risks, central bank divergence, and the U.S. labor market all competing for attention. The dominant macro theme remains the Middle East. Reports of an alleged drone attack near Oman's Mina Al Fahal crude terminal have expanded concerns beyond the Strait of Hormuz itself, raising questions about the vulnerability of Gulf energy infrastructure. Despite the escalation, crude has been surprisingly resilient rather than explosive, suggesting markets are still waiting for confirmation of supply disruption before materially repricing risk. Gold remains well supported as investors continue to hedge geopolitical uncertainty. In FX, the dollar is broadly steady ahead of today's U.S. payrolls report, which is shaping up as the key event risk of the week. Consensus looks for a moderation in job growth to around 88K, but recent U.S. labor data has consistently surprised to the upside. A stronger than expected print would reinforce the narrative of continued U.S. exceptionalism and keep Treasury yields supported, while a softer result could encourage renewed Fed easing expectations and weigh on the dollar. The yen remains a focal point. Dollar yen continues to trade near the psychologically important 160 level despite renewed intervention threats from Tokyo. Japanese real wages rose for a fourth consecutive month and household spending beat expectations, strengthening the case for further normalization from the Bank of Japan. However, the market remains unconvinced that verbal intervention alone will reverse yen weakness, keeping the burden on either BOJ tightening or direct market action. In equities, U.S. markets continue to demonstrate impressive resilience. The Dow closed at another record high, while the S&P 500 remains near its highs despite growing geopolitical concerns and elevated positioning. The market's ability to absorb negative headlines continues to reflect confidence in the U.S. growth outlook, although leadership has become more selective and technology sentiment showed some cracks overnight following weakness across Asian AI-related names. Looking ahead, the focus today is squarely on the North American labor market alongside U.S. non-farm payrolls. Canada releases employment figures, which will be important for Bank of Canada expectations and dollar CAD direction. Beyond the data, markets will also monitor comments from BOE officials Dingra and Bailey for any guidance on the pace of UK policy easing. That's all for now.